Welcome to the milk bar. 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 Welcome to the milk bar.
Welcome along to episode 665 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we'll be finding out all about the Wellbeing Festival coming to Shrewsbury in June. Bryony Perdue will be along to share her brand new single Vexed and talk about her music. Dave Corfield will be with us to let us know about his fitness app and how he's offering a free 12-month subscription to those who are currently getting over addiction. We will be hearing what's going on in the world of Jenny Powell and talking Mother's Day ahead of the fact that a survey has shown that mothers are made to laugh by their kids each week, and that is one of the best bits of being a mom. Plus, on top of that, you can see what happened when I nipped along to the wonderful Marsh Lane plant sale, as we'll be following up what happened in our chat last week for the fact it is now open. And of course, they're raising funds for the West Park Stroke Cycling Group. That's all on the way on the show this week. The Wellbeing Festival is an amazing event taking place on the 11th and 12th of June, which is serving the whole of the Midlands from the Quarry in Shrewsbury. To tell us more, I'm joined now by Director Carrie Hughes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So tell me a little bit more about how this all began.
My job obviously is event organising, and Wellbeing Festival is something that came to my mind about 5 years ago, actually. That's when the idea was first created. So I decided to put together an event that it was all encompassing, that would involve all kinds of well-being from many different fields. So yeah, that's how it came about, really. We started building it and people seemed really interested, and people on many levels embraced it in lots of different ways. So it was born, and we've had a couple of years delay due to the pandemic, but we're here, and we go on the 11th and 12th of June.
Now, tickets are on sale now, so this is your time to get yourself signed up and involved. But what sort of thing can people expect? Because you've already got the fantastic surroundings of the Quarry in Shrewsbury as a brilliant backdrop, so that's great in itself. You've got the convenience of parking in the city centre too, so you've got everything you need to get yourself there. But how does the Wellbeing begin?
Okay, so the event itself, the festival itself, is kind of split into four sectors, four main areas, being wellbeing, fitness, children and education, and food and nutrition. So you will see that physically within the event, there's kind of four separate sectors, and within each one there's lots of different things going on, such as fitness classes, talks from guest speakers, cookery demos, sports activities. We have a retail village, and also a kind of yoga and mindfulness village in big teepees in the centre, where again you can take part, you can go and join a class, you can learn about meditation, breathing, mobility, injury therapy, all sorts of stuff.
And as I say, it's an opportunity to maybe try out something when it comes to your own well-being that you haven't really felt able to approach in the past.
Absolutely.
Because it's an open and it's accessible environment, and you're not going to anyone saying, right, I've got these areas I think I need to do something about. You're actually just turning up and going, I want to learn about how I can be the best I can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much opportunity within the festival to kind of like sample bite-sized bits of lots of different aspects of well-being. So, if you were interested, I don't know, in becoming more mobile or learning to relax a little bit more, you can drop in and do a session, or you could just pop and watch, or take some information away or speak to somebody within that sector who could give you a little bit of information to take away with you and learn a bit more about it. So it's, there are some people that perhaps don't want to get involved on the day, physically. They might just want to watch or absorb the information and then take it away. So it's all encompassing, it's open to everybody.
And then there is something there for everybody, whatever state of mind, where your well-being is at the moment. This is, it can be repair, or it can be maintenance. It could just be understanding of others.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said before, we're covering all fields of well-being. So it might be physical well-being, mental well-being, financial well-being even, and there's a lot of corporate stuff going on, and there's just a lot of fun. a lot of fun going on. It's all very relaxing and done in a fun way.
Yeah, and a sort of community spirit to the whole thing as well, which I like the idea of.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons we chose Shrewsbury as our launch venue, because it's such a community. It has such a community vibe, and people come together and just embrace stuff like this. So,
and how will it work when it comes to the talks? Obviously, you're booking your ticket for the main event, and that'll get you in for either one day or the whole weekend.
You can do either. You could either do Saturday, Sunday, or both days. So ticket options are on our website.
But then, do you need to book into the talks and things as they happen?
No, they are open. The times will be advertised on the website, and the times will be advertised on the site during the day. So you can just pop along and turn up at the allocated time. We do have some big guest speakers. So obviously those seminars are expected to be busy, but all the information will be on the website.
Very case of make sure you get yourself down there, work out which bits you want to see, and work out how it will work for you for the weekend.
That's it. And there's so much to see and do, and there's so many talks and guests to see. There's something for everybody. And
with this sort of event, obviously, it's going to be about much more than just the sitting down, the eating, the chatting. It is going to have an impact going forward, and that must be great to know that you're going to be having a positive impact on people's lives purely from attending a fantastic event like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very passionate on a personal level about health and well-being, and different forms of therapy, I suppose, in a way, of addressing certain issues. There's so many ways to do it. Traditionally people think counselling is very clinical, for example, but we have a lady who's she's actually local to Shrewsbury, who's coming. She does walk and talk therapy, and she takes her clients for walks in the hills. And this Shropshire is such a beautiful place. There's so many places to do that. And so it's looking at, it's stepping outside of the box and maybe removing some of the stigma that comes with mental health therapy or physical therapy and physical activity, So yeah, it's about kind of showcasing to everybody what there is, that there is something different to suit everybody's needs out there.
And something that we haven't really seen in the Midlands before. I mean, this is going to take in, as you've already mentioned, Shropshire its base. It's going to be Staffordshire, Wolverhampton and the West Midlands, and into mid Wales as well. So you've got a big catchment area.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the beauty of the venue that we've chosen, is that it's so accessible for so many counties and for people to come from a wider area.
Mm-hmm. And excellent train links as well. So you haven't even got to worry about driving.
No, that's right. That's right.
So if there are people out there who think this is something they could be part of, obviously the big campaign to get the push to let everybody know about this is just starting. So if there are practitioners out there who feel it's something they could be involved in, how do they get in touch?
They can get in touch with us through any of our social media outlets or through the website, which is www.wellbeingfestival.co.uk.
And of course, that's the same address if you are looking to come along and book your place at the event to enjoy it and be part of it.
That's it. Yeah, head to the website, book your tickets in advance. If you're interested in, if you're a practitioner, like you say, and you want to take part, so it's something that you bring to the festival, drop us a line, drop us an email. All the details are on the website.
And obviously, again, this is something which you're hoping to build on, whether it's annual or biannual. This is a sort of event which is going to grow. And, again, it's one of those which I think we'll probably see more of this taking place around the country.
It's a very poignant subject, given what we've been through as a nation and indeed as a world for the last couple of years. And I think people are more aware of their well-being in all aspects, physically, mentally, financially, as a community even on a corporate level. We've got a lot of companies who are interested in bringing their staff along for the day, just to give them that opening to explore different avenues of well-being. But it's certainly a subject that is, very strong at the moment, and very welcomed and also very positive. I think people are looking at well-being in a very positive manner now, and this is what we hope to provide, a positive and a fun approach to well-being.
Yeah, and will there be things like music in the background as well as part of making sure every level?
Small amounts of music. We have a main stage in the fitness sector where there'll be all day long, all weekend long, there'll be things going on there. It might be a mass participation 80s fitness class. It could be somebody talking about, general fitness or running. Actually, speaking of which, we have a relay race on the Sunday for people to take part in teams of 3. Which will be chipped and timed, and they'll get a medal at the end of it. So there literally is something for everybody there.
So it's going to be absolutely massive. And Wellbeing isn't just about panpipes either, is it? It's more to it.
No. And again, I think this is a stigma that's slowly being removed from society, that people are more aware of wellbeing and actually what it is for them as an individual and for us as a nation. People I think used to think, oh, it's a little bit hippie maybe, or a little bit way out there, but actually I think people are realizing that we all have well-being, whether it's currently good or maybe not so good or needs some attention, and it's something that we can provide a lot of self-help with.
Yep, self-help, and channeling you're in a hippie isn't a bad thing either, is it?
Not at all. No, we all love a bit of that.
It sounds great. Give us the web address again.
wellbeingfestival.co.uk.
Well, Director of the Wellbeing Festival for 2022, Carrie Hughes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Bryony Perdue has been appearing all over the place, including on TV adverts, without you probably even realising it. She's got a brand new single, Vexed, which sounds awesome, and is here now to tell us all about it. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, good to talk to you. Great to have you along. And I think we are going to be seeing amazing things from you over the next 6 to 12 months, aren't we?
That's the hope, indeed. Yes, I've got a great team behind me, and we've got some live gigs coming up. We've obviously had a great reception from the radio community and people listening. So I think the only way is up.
Absolutely, and you're a classically trained singer. This has got you the gigs we've seen on telly in the past, and you performed on national radio as well. But I mean, Vexed in itself is something of you getting to do what you want to do the way you want to do it, isn't it?
Absolutely. The as you say, the classical training, that's a really great foundation. That was really inspiring because it involves languages, it involves history, it involves exploring all kinds of music, and lots of classical is based on folk, so it involves looking back at where we've come from musically, and everything that we listen to affects how we write and what we create. And I really loved finding this sound with Vexed and going, oh, that's my voice, that's what I sound like, that's me, not taking everything back to be really classical and that sort of pure sound. It's not me adding on any extra sort of rock husk. It's just this is my voice.
Absolutely, and it's difficult to try and pigeonhole it into a genre either, because I feel that there's this hint of country, there's 70s pop, there's all sorts of things there. In fact, although it certainly is your own voice, it wouldn't shock me if Cher were to be made as a comparison as well, and the power that she has with her voice. I think that's there, and hopefully you take that as a compliment.
I absolutely love Cher. She's an icon. So yes, of course I like that.
But you can see that and feel that. And there's, I think, a great sound here that is just going to be a sort of a summer signature tune. It's
really great. The reception of it has been really interesting because it sort of started in my head as kind of a blues number. Mm-hmm. And I had the bass line, which actually didn't make it onto what we finally did because the strings contending with that. We thought the strings were so beautiful, let's let them really sing out and let's not have another, you can make it too many strong parts. And I think keeping it not necessarily simple, but keeping it clear is really important. And what the bassist did supports all that the strings are doing, what I'm doing and what I'm singing. But the sort of blues sort of evolution from that being really quite a simple blues tune to throwing at it some of the 90s rock I used to listen to some of the more alternative 70s stuff. You're right, it's hard to pigeonhole.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I mean, it is just you, Bryony, all over.
Hard to pigeonhole, I would say.
So we've got the music. I mean, it's part of an EP as well. So this has literally just been released, even as we speak, and you'll start to build a bit of reaction, and you'll be able to see from the downloads and the hits that you're getting online and through sales, just the sort of reaction it's going to have. And I think as the word gets out there, this is just going to snowball, isn't it?
this week has been incredible because it's nearing 14,000 plays on Spotify, which is wonderful for I don't have a label. I've got wonderful managers, and I've had support from the radio promo team that we mentioned. They're wonderful, Lisa and Mike. But the fact that as an unsigned artist, that reception has happened is just really wonderful. And that's the single called Vexed on the EP, which is also called Vexed. And there are 2 other tracks on there, and I would urge you to listen because they are, again, different. They fit the same sort of sound because it was the same musicians on them. It's written by me and Jamie Brown, so there's obviously going to be a sound that we like and we've gone with. But the second one, Modern Man, I would particularly draw your ear to because it means something very particular.
Okay, so we've got to listen to the words. I mean, Vexed itself for the title for the EP. I mean, that sounds like you're a little bit put out.
Yes, well, teenage angst is a great place to come from when writing songs. And I think just around 17, I was sort of working out what I wanted to be doing and what was the best path for me. When I'm very lucky, I could have done a number of things. And it was suggested to me that I try and do a language degree to get a real degree before I go and do music and performance. And that was said with the best will in the world. My parents wanted what was best for me. And the fact that throughout it, I kind of berate Mama, my mother figure. It's nothing to do with the fact that I've got a bad relationship with my mum. She's wonderful. Thank you, Debs. It's the fact that I guess society, you sort of go, why am I being encouraged to do this thing when I came from you, but I am my own thing altogether? That was where that came from.
So, but I think all music has to come from the heart in some way, and it's like it does depend on the way in which you tell that story as well. So we've got Modern Man, so that's one to listen to the words on. No spoilers on that one. Tell us about the third track on the EP.
Third track is Going Nowhere, and it binds the other 2 together because Vexed it really bursts out. Modern Man is very ballady, and Going Nowhere is a wistful ode to being 17, to just taking things as they come, to the sort of carpe diem, and it's written very lightly because I think lots of that 17-year-old angst. 17 is an age which I think fascinates songwriters anyway because you're just pre-adult. But you're old enough to have had some experience, but not old enough to know what to do with it. But you think you are.
but where does this leave you then as towards an album, and how are you going to approach writing that one?
Very interesting. I'm working really hard on that at the moment because I've just moved and I've now got a space in which to do so. And I've been wandering around town writing voice notes, recording voice notes into my phone. And what is coming out is a more drawing on that blues, drawing on that country aspect and the 70s storytelling of songs. I don't want to go super preachy or anything like that, but I think you're right. I think you've got to speak from the heart. And I think using the experiences that I've had, the more specific you can be, the more people relate to it. And it's very interesting to learn that. And
I mean, with music itself, a lot of it will be used as background, but I think your stuff is certainly jumping out of the foreground whenever you hear it.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, and I hope that's the case. And if anyone wants it on their Netflix series, just let me know.
There's a place over maybe an angsty scene that the powerful, the rock goddess bit which is coming out of you at the same time as everything else is happening. It'll really suit it.
There is definitely that, and at the moment, you've no idea. Woe betide. The next year, honestly, there's some really cool stuff coming out. I'm very excited.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can see that happening. So gigs are currently in the pipeline. We'll be able to see all of what's going on via the socials and on your website. Give us all the details.
So my social media, I managed to nab Life of Bryony as my Instagram handle. So come and find me. That's where I keep most up to date because I love the fact that you can do it through pictures. I think that I'm a very visual person. So Instagram is the place to find the most content. The website is always kept up to date and is www.bryonyperdue.com. And you can also download the EP from Bandcamp so you can have it wherever you go.
Enjoy and experience that music. Keep it in your ears and your mind too. Bryony Perdue, fantastic meeting you. Thank you for joining us, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing more from you. But for now, we've got Vexed to enjoy. Thank you, as I say.
Thank you, Jason.
You'll find me vexed, mama. what you've done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you've done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you've done. Got me giving all the love, got me giving it all up. You always told me you gotta find a man, somebody who can take good care of you. But that is the one thing I have never sought, never thought, never bought into. Over this little time, been working out a way of living life like I've never known. And I've got me thinking I'm better off on my own. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. Got me giving all the love, got me giving it all up. Oh, mama, you said be good to yourself. Oh, mama, you said look up and look ahead. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. Got me giving all the love, got me giving it all up. Oh, you found me vexed, mama, for what you done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. You found me vexed, mama, for what you done. Got me giving all the love, got me giving it all up. You never gave me, never told me, never gave me nothing but like to belong. You never gave me, never told me, never gave me nothing but bad advice. Giving it all up.
David Corfield is the mastermind behind a brand new app helping those with addiction, and he joins me now to tell me more. Hello, sir.
How you doing? Okay.
I'm good. I trust we find you well.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks. Yeah.
Now, I'm used to talking to you about your gym work, the fact you have a gym just outside Albrighton, and that you've given us PT tips in the past. But now we're looking much more of a lifestyle thing. Tell us a bit of the background of how the app came about.
Well, obviously during the first lockdown, the whole of the sort of fitness industry moved online. So everyone was doing different things. Some people were using Zoom to do sort of classes. We were using like a Facebook group. So all our members joined the group, and I used Facebook Live to do these daily classes. Obviously, because we were sort of left with very little else to do, I just had hours a day to sort of get really creative and plan these sort of different classes using, obviously, with keeping in mind that people have very limited kit at home. So it was sort of maximum fitness and function for as as little kit as possible. So I based it around having minimum 2 water bottles. If people had dumbbells, then great, and 1 sort of heavier weight. So like a child's rucksack with a brick in it and some clothes sort of wrapped around it, or obviously a kettlebell if somebody had one. So it's just based around those 2 very basic bits of kit. You know, people could order perhaps from Amazon a kettlebell and a couple of dumbbells, and it's next to no outlay. Anyway, they became really, really popular. They really helped everyone through the pandemic. But Facebook Live wasn't really ideal because you kept getting, music issues, copyright. You get thrown off, and you'd be on and off, and it was all messing around. But people really, really enjoyed it, and I noticed how much it helped people's sort of mental health. It was just, well, I'm physical, obviously, but mental health was a major, major thing. So we've just kept it going, but then I thought, well, I need to really design my own app to sort of to use it on, to make it easier, so we weren't getting thrown off and all the rest of it. And so that's what we did. So I got together. One of our members is a sort of website app developer, and we got together and sort of I told him what I wanted, because when it comes to technology, I'm no good at all. But he's taking charge of all that side of it. So I told him what I wanted, and now we've got this app where you can go on live. You can do all the class. There's one total fitness class, is what I call them, total fitness, every day that I sort of film live. We've got yoga 3 times a week. We've got a class called Total Mobility that I do, which is like a condensed yoga, I suppose you'd call it. Half an hour of very deep stretching and breathing, which is also really good for mental health. And then we've got 2 what's called Live Strong classes, which are sort of beginner classes, so a bit easier circuits. And that's done by one of our instructors here, Will. So there's a lot on there. And obviously, with it in mind, how much it helped during lockdown with people's sort of mental health and getting them through that. With my background that I've spoken about now, that I had a bit of a drug problem. So obviously, it's a long time ago now, a 10-year sort of addiction to heroin and various sort of drug use, during that time, the late 90s and whatnot. But fitness really helped me get over that. It gave me that focus. It filled the hole that's always left when you're sort of trying to get clean or something like that. And so I know it can really work. And I know there are other people it's really helped who come in anyway for the same reason. So what I've decided to do is offer a 3 years membership to anyone who gets on a drug rehabilitation program to help them recover and get them focused on something else.
Yeah, because you're someone I know who's always looked after themselves, as far as I've known, and this from you and where you are now, it may come as a surprise to some, and it really is an important part of your life journey to have passed by that problem and now moved into the world you are now. You're settled down with a family. Yeah. This is all you could have hoped for, and you've proven that actually some mistakes and an addiction, and the fact you can get drawn into these things relatively easily, there is a way out, and it doesn't mean the end of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like a different life now, really. Like a different life. Think back then, it's like I'm thinking about a different person almost. It's really strange, I can't quite believe I was there, and where I am now. It's really, really strange. But yeah, absolutely, it can be, overcome. And I'm living proof of that. So I think what it is, and again, I think the pandemic and lockdowns exacerbated this. There's the struggle in life's been taken away over the last 50 to 100 years. It's become, life's almost too easy. We can just sit around all day. We can watch Netflix. We can order stuff. We've just got our phones. We drive to work. We sit at desks. We just live this really sedentary life where everything's just so easy, and that's happened over such a rapid, space of time. When you look at sort of the evolution of humans, really physiologically, we're still exactly the same as we were when we were on the African plains, sort of hunting antelope. And the human body's evolved to do that. We almost need that bit of a stride, a bit of a struggle. And I think that's been taken away. And I think that's why a lot of people, it's like, again, leaves a gap, like I said before. And a lot of people fill that gap with drugs, alcohol, and all that sort of stuff, a negative thing. And what I want to try and do is try and sort of realign people and get them to fill it with something positive, to get them to, feel that it makes such a difference. It really does. Everyone who comes in says the same thing. It completely changes you mentally. Especially every morning, don't get me wrong, even now, I come in and say, oh God, I can't believe I've got to film that, and I can really do without it. But once 5 minutes into it, and then particularly after it, you just feel fantastic. You feel realigned, your body, mind, the hormone balance in your brain, serotonin, dopamine levels, which is all key to feeling good, feeling okay, so that you don't turn to anything negative, you see. So, it helps in so many ways. It really does.
And I suppose as well, I mean, people have had busy lives, even when they had more time on their hands. So it's actually finding the time to get back to doing stuff in the gym. And this allows them to do it on their own terms without the travel time to and from.
Yeah, I mean, so some people just will come to the gym, like they love coming to the gym, but there is a massive portion of people, I hear it all the time, they're quite intimidated at the thought of coming to the gym. Even though it's a misplaced intimidation, in my opinion, because you've got lovely people here, really. But I do understand it's the thought of going somewhere you're going to have fit and you feel sort of a bit self-conscious. Then this is ideal because you can just do it at your leisure at home where you feel at ease, and then when you do it, will fill you with confidence, and then it might get you confident enough to actually come to the gym, any gym, not necessarily my gym, anywhere in person. So yeah, and of course, like you say, it does save time. If people have got time issues, it takes away that excuse. Oh, I've got to travel all the way over to X, Y, Z. You can just go onto your mobile device. You've got your little bits of kit, and off you go. And as I say, I've designed, like I said, I had all that time on my hands during lockdown. I was that creative with it. I've managed to sort of get 80 different routines with all different themes and templates and different challenges. You always finish with a challenge. So you've got like Back to the Future, where the Back to the Future theme plays, and you have to do 1955 to 1985 and 19 burpees and 55 jumping jacks. Then another 19 burpees and 85 jumping jacks before the song runs out. That's just one example. We've got Star Wars. We've got all sorts of different Mission Impossible, different themes and challenges, and it's quite. People do really enjoy them. It's quite fun.
Absolutely, it's about making all that little bit of fun, making it something different, and put out a different product that's out there, but one that that you're going to enjoy. You must have had fun putting it together, so it's going to be good fun for those who are actually using it too.
Yeah.
So give us details on where we can find the app and how they can get in touch if it is somebody who's actually coming out of an addiction, and you think you can help them to turn their life around the same way as you've been able to.
Yeah, all I need is just proof that they're on a program, really. I'm happy then to go ahead and give them access. I'm working closely with a few groups in Telford, like A Better Tomorrow and the Drug Rehab Partnership. I've got a meeting with them tomorrow as well. So anybody hearing this who's a part of an organisation like that, just get in touch with me and give me a list of names, and I'm happy to give all the people who are on the programme free access. The app is it's called DC Virtual Gym, and it's on Apple. I just searched DC Virtual Gym on Apple or Android on the App Store. Download it and off you go.
And before you know it, you say you'll be enjoying gym work at home without having to travel. And it's something you can use alongside your gym workouts as well. It's not just one or the other, is it?
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you could technically take that app and go in, if you're not a member of our gym at any gym, just go into the gym. You can still do the routines, wherever you are. And it's adaptable, scalable, so you can make it as tough and challenging or as easy as you like. So, there is inbuilt progression in there as well. So the idea is you go through your first one with two light hand weights and a fairly light kettlebell or as I say, a rucksack. Then when you do it after you've done the cycle, all 80, maybe once or twice, then you go up and you go to the next weight. One higher, perhaps purchase a 3K dumbbells and a 12K kettlebell, or put an extra brick in the rucksack. And that way you just progress as you go. As you get fitter, you progress and progress.
So that's going to be both good fun and good for people's health and mental health too. So before you do go though, let us know where we can find the gym and how people can come along and actually get PT and work with you alongside you in real life too.
Brilliant. Yeah, the gym is at Long Lane, Cosford, just past the garage there, or just on Junction 3. I think we're really easy to find. It's Long Lane, Neachley, and we're just halfway down the road there. You can't miss us with a big flag outside. Just come and visit. We do a free 2-week trial, and there's no contract with us anyway. So even when you do sign up, we don't hold anyone to anything like the big chains. I think we don't really need to. A nice sort of friendly community atmosphere. So pop along or visit the website. That's davidcorfield.co.uk and book a visit that way. But please come down and see us.
Sounds good to me. David, always good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us, and keep up the good work and good luck with the app.
Thank you. Cheers, Jason.
This year, when we celebrate Mother's Day, it is the same day as the clocks change. That'll be confusing in itself, but it does make breakfast in bed that little bit easier, I think. We'll see. To tell us more about the ways in which we can celebrate Mum and enjoy a special day with her, I'm joined now by Jenny Powell, TV radio presenter and Mum, and also by Lou Hickey of One for All gift cards. Good afternoon to you both.
Hello, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Now, first of all, Jenny, give us some of the background to the story here, because I mean, we know mums are special, and those of us who are lucky to still have them around absolutely must be marking the day with vigour.
Yeah, I think so. I think more than ever, we've really appreciated each other, especially in the family group over the past couple of years, because we've been together, haven't we? Like in the house a lot, and I think it has been a bit of a mum appreciation couple of years, to be honest, because I think people have really realized, the kids too, just how much mum does in the house. And, we all found ourselves working from home, still doing our duties at home, still trying to keep the family together and getting on at home. So I think more than ever this year, people say, do you know what? I really do appreciate you, Mum, after all that we've been through.
Yeah. And these are the unexpected joys. I mean, 43% say kids made them laugh every day over the last 12 months. And that's part of it, isn't it? And that's special.
Yeah, I love this one. So the research was done by One for All gift cards, and they came out with, I mean, that's a lot, 43%. Is a lot. We must have a lot of funny kids out there. My kids, there's different age groups. One's 21, one's 13. The older one's a bit more inward, but the 13-year-old is really out there. And she makes me laugh every day. So I am one of the 43%, I have to say.
You're one of the lucky ones?
The best line, do you want to hear one of the lines she came out with just recently?
Go on.
Oh, this is hilarious. She went, Mum, I know why it's called the menopause, right? I'm dropping her off at the bus stop, right? So you can imagine, I'm not ready for this. Who's ready for that at that time in the morning? So she's obviously judged the mood I've been in. And, we all know how old I am, thanks. And she went, I know why it's called the menopause. And I went, this is going to be good. I went, why? She said, because men do your head in. And then she got out the car, swung her rucksack on her back and skipped along to the bus stop. And I thought, wow, you know what? Thanks, Pollyanna. And, she's come out with some great lines, and she just, she brightens my day. And I just, I think we all look forward to those moments. I think most mums will say as well, they wish they'd have jotted down all the one-liners, all the funny things they've said. Yeah, absolutely. I think you should always keep notes.
Yeah, it makes good for the memoirs as well. So you can include that and get some royalties off them too, which I think will work well.
See what I'm thinking, Jason. See what I'm thinking.
But I mean, motherhood comes with those moments where people end up crying in the car as well.
Yeah. Well, that might be menopause as well, to be fair.
It's interesting reading about that in the One for All gift card research. There came out that like 31% of British mums admitted to having a secret little cry in the car. And I think, we all know it's, motherhood does have its ups and its downs, but overall it is really rewarding. And one of the things that came out that I absolutely loved was British mums saying that they never realised just how much they could love another person. And I just think that's gorgeous. And that goes really hand in hand as well with the laughter every single day as well. So it certainly does have its rewards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when it comes to making sure make mum feel special on Mother's Day, there are many ways of doing that. We mentioned the breakfast in bed thing. And Jenny, one of your kids is 21 now. So that's easy to organise, isn't it? You haven't got to worry about the food you're going to get. But you want the gift on the plate as well. So Lou, what can you suggest here? You may be able to help us out.
Well, yeah, look, it's interesting. I mean, I had some brunch there with a few friends a few weeks ago, and we were chatting about, Mother's Day coming up and different gift ideas. And one friend was saying that every year she buys her mum clothes, and every year her mum says to her, Suzanne, love, do you have the receipt? And, I have another friend whose mum just has all the latest gadgets and gadgets and gizmos, and is one of those mums that is a bit tricky to purchase for. So the One for All gift idea really it's a gift of choice. So it means that mum will be able to treat herself to something that she really wants this year.
Yeah, and nobody gets offended then, because that's the other thing. Sometimes you're like, oh, that's so thoughtful, but I really don't want that.
That's exactly it.
I think with One for All gift cards, at least you think, right, okay, thank goodness, because I've got a whole range of things that I can choose from. They've done their bit. They're really chuffed that they've given me a choice.
That's exactly.
You're giving someone a choice, aren't you?
Yeah.
Give mum a choice. We need to have a choice.
Well, this is it. I mean, mums are busy enough anyway, so you don't want to have to spend time taking back the clothes that you didn't like. And it's with 20% say it's much harder than they appreciated to be a mum. So it is certainly worth recognising, isn't it?
100%. And as Jenny said earlier there, after the last couple of years that we've had, it's been a tough couple of years, and now's the time more than ever just to show mum just how much she means to us and how much we appreciate her. So yeah, it's a great gift solution.
Yeah, and Jenny, I guess you have virtually no free time at all with the family to look after, as well as everything else going on in your world, because you are busy.
And the dog.
You got that help.
I was like, I've got a dog. Why have I got a dog as well?
But it's all part of that journey. And when we first saw you on TV, No Limits back in the day, I remember when you joined the presenting team on that show.
Yeah.
And you never know what to expect, do you? And that all ties in with the lack of unexpected, lack of the expected when you become a mum.
Absolutely. And I always say to my kids as well, I say, always expect the unexpected. Always, And
that tied in with the crazy stunts you've done on TV and everything else.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I started with No Limits when I was 16 years old. So it's quite bizarre now because since Connie's been 16, every year I go, do you know what I was doing when I was your age? I was out on national television, like jumping out of planes. And in fact, I stood on one once with a Biggles hat on. I remember doing that for No Limits. And it was doing Loop the Loops, and I was just strapped to this pole. I mean, I don't know whether health and safety ever existed then. I don't even remember signing anything. But yeah, I was like, when I was 17, I was upside down on a plane up there in the sky, introducing Bon Jovi. And she was like, what? So always expect the unexpected. And another thing is, and I keep telling them this, you must always prepare for everything, but expect nothing. I think that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I certainly hope you're not expecting nothing for Mother's Day this year.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm one of those who go, oh, no, don't worry about me. But yeah, I think the idea of, maybe something like a 1 for All gift card, will give me choice, because I am rather fussy as well, and they all fret about it. So it would be nice just for me to have some spends, and then I can go and do what I want. Some spends. Listen to me. How old school am I?
Lou, tell us more about where we can spend those gift cards.
Well, the 1 for All gift card, you can spend it at over 55,000 outlets nationwide and online as well with participating retailers. So mum really is going to get a great gift of choice. And you can find out more about the 1 for All gift card range on our website, oneforall.com, including the new category range of favourites like restaurant, fashion, beauty and spa, and so much more. So oneforall.com, or you could pop into your local post office or supermarket.
So grab your 1 for All gift card. Jenny, which design would you like on your 1 for All gift card of the kids?
Oh, I'd probably do spa, if I'm honest.
You fancy a spa day? Yeah,
I'd do something like that for sure. Yeah. And then, of course, I'd have to take the eldest with me. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
So Constance,
hint.
Yeah. Constance, Pollyanna, if you're listening, your mother has spoken.
Not that they ever listen. So if someone else can say it, they might listen.
Yeah, that's the way. We'll give that a try. So once again, Lou, give us all the details on where we can find out 1 for All gift cards.
So you can find out more on oneforall.com.
Lou Hickey of 1 for All gift cards, and Jenny Powell, star. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks, Jason. Lovely to talk to you.
Take care.
Take care.
The Marsh Lane plant sale has returned each Saturday and Sunday, raising funds for the West Park Stroke Cycling Group and being a bit of a community hub too. It's your chance to come down and get some brilliant value plants and have a bit of a natter too. Anthony Hall is the man behind the sale itself, and we have Jan Morris from the charity. Hello to you both.
Hello, good to see you.
Hello, Jason.
It's nice to come down here and see the great range of plants you have on sale. Give us a background to how this all started off.
Okay, so unfortunately it was actually my dad who had a massive stroke in 2019. He was such a bad stroke, he actually took his left hand side. Flick of a switch, it basically took his life off him. So we had a little bit of a bingo win last year, and his part of the money he wanted to put it into buying plants. And we was like, no, Dad, we've got enough plants. But no, he had a different idea. He wanted to buy plants to sell plants and have the collections on site so we can actually raise as much as we possibly can. Well, with my dad, from day one when he was in West Park Hospital, he always said, I want to give something back, and this is his idea. He feels that he wants to give something back to to thank them for being here today. You know, he believes if it wasn't for them, he wouldn't be where he is today. Of course, we'd love him to walk, you know, and we still have hope, we still have faith that one day it will happen. But I personally don't believe that there's actually enough support given to stroke patients, especially after stroke. You know, I don't know if Jan agrees with me that there is not enough provided. So we do the planned sale. We raise as much as we possibly can for stroke patients within Wolverhampton. It actually gets donated to West Park Stroke Cycling Group. So when we started the planned sale, we noticed that it was actually doing a lot more than just providing for stroke patients. We was noticing that there was more and more people coming along with different stories of their own, how stroke has affected them, and you know, it's brought everybody together, especially the past few years with COVID and everything. You know, we're just seeing it. Our neighbours are coming out, even people that we haven't seen from over the road, and we're having so much support from those people. It's amazing.
It's not for profit. The way the funds are raised for the charity are through collections that take place themselves.
That's right.
And it's more than £500 last year.
It was, yeah. It was June to October. We raised just over £500. Yep. We have obviously done another planned sale over Christmas period, which will then carry on into this year's handover. We're planning to hand over more this year. We want it to be a massive success.
Well, congratulations on what you've done so far, and Jan, obviously the work that you guys do really making a difference to lives across the city.
Definitely, and it's something that I know about firsthand because my husband had a really debilitating stroke in 2008, died last year, but he was looked after so well by West Park. People who have strokes, particularly really big ones like Alex and like my husband Pete, they feel like they've had their life taken away and they've got no control. We've got no funding from the NHS for the work post-stroke, so the work that people like Anthony are doing is just absolutely incredible, because to see somebody who can't walk actually go out on a bike and cycle, the special trikes that we've got, is wonderful. It gives them independence, it gives them a bit of freedom, friendship, and for those few hours they feel great, and it also gives their carers, who have a very, very tough time, relentless, it gives them a little bit of freedom of work as well. So any money that we can get, every penny is used for things like cycles themselves, maintenance, high-vis jackets, helmets, all those sorts of things. It's brilliant, very well used.
And so when it comes down to that, it's getting that mobility back, and I know your dad Alex has got some of his movement back. He was telling me earlier on how he started to first of all be able to move certain parts, and then suddenly he feels he's achieved something. And so it is that achievement, and remembering that actually life does go on. It'll be different, but you just have to find a way of dealing with the new circumstances.
Most definitely, and it is, whilst it is first and foremost a physical exercise for the patients to go out on the bikes, and obviously it helps their muscles, build their muscles up, but it's so much more than that. They become part of a really tight-knit friendship group, and they see regular people, and mentally, psychologically, you can't put a price on that. It really makes a difference to people. And I have to say, stroke is not a very popular sort of charity. People have only got so much money to give to charity, so for this, where we get donations, it really helps, because as I said, we get nothing from the NHS for it.
Well, where can we go to find out more information about the West Park Stroke Cycling Group?
Well, actually West Park itself, and the occupational therapist's office there.
So nip in and check out.
They'd be very happy to see you. I don't know how much of a waiting list we've got at the moment, because it is very popular, but we also support gardening group, art groups, so it isn't just cycling. There are therapy groups for stroke patients, so pop into West Park to the occupational therapy department and they will know all about it.
So get in touch if somebody can get some assistance that way. So Anthony, the plant sale is ongoing throughout the year, Saturday and Sunday, 11 through 4, 136 Marsh Lane. How do we find you if you want to find out more before heading down?
Okay, simply search Marsh Lane Plant Sale on Facebook. It'll take us straight to our page.
Yeah, and you take cash and card on site, so you can make sure if you've got something you're looking for your garden. There's a wide range of stuff down here. It looks fantastic. You and your dad are doing brilliant work with this. I know your mum's joining in too. But absolutely fantastic. Well done to that, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Jason. That's really good. Thank you very much.
That's a lot for this week. Thank you so much for joining me back with episode 666 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.